on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What's going on, everybody? Fix my mic here. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. What a crazy last couple of days it has been. So let me start this video off. Crack a little bit of the wine. I actually got 2 wine glasses here for some reason. Oh, well. So today's wine of the day is Pelee Island Winery. Good stuff. I got it chilled here for you, Marcus. Oh yeah, Pelee Island. Nice red wine, red wine. Tastes so fine. So let me bring you up to speed as to what's been going on lately in Canadian gamers world. So the first thing is I want to mention I was on the cusp of a real awesome Kijiji deal tonight for some Sega Genesis games. It was 5... Well, let me take a sip of my wine here. Oh, yeah, that's good. So it was 5 Genesis games for $40. This ad had been up for a while. He recently reduced the price. It's 5 games. Skitchin in the box. Road Rash 2 in the box. Road Rash 3 loose cart. Ren and Stimpy loose cart, and T2, the arcade game, loose cart as well. So there's a few games there that aren't really on my radar, but still, $40 for 5 games. You're talking less than $10 a game. I already have Road Rash 2 loose, but I'd love to have the case for it. Then I could obviously sell one of my copies and make some of my money back. Road Rash 3's relatively uncommon. I don't see it too often. And then as for the other games, it is what it is. I got 5 slots left in my wall of Genesis games to fill. And this would have just about filled everything. So what happened was I was going to pick up... Sorry, I'm trying to breathe down, swallow this wine here. I was supposed to pick that up tonight at 7:30. And then right around 6:45, my boss got a hold of me and he needed me to do something work-related. Unfortunately, but with this new job, work definitely comes before play, and no matter what I'm doing, unless it's something really important, it has to be pushed back. I'm not gonna go out and chase down video games. Meanwhile, my boss is wondering like where the I am, and I can't do that. Those days are long gone. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to pick up those games. I'll try again later on this week. If I don't get them, oh well, it's not the end of the world. So, with that being said, I want to show you guys album of the day. I haven't done this in a while. That's REM, Automatic for the People. I'm a huge fan of REM. I actually saw them live many years ago with my sister and her boyfriend at the time. And yeah, REM, fantastic band. Another great song by REM is E-Bow the Letter. It's a song that Michael Stipe, the lead singer of REM, wrote after the late River Phoenix had passed away. For those of you who don't know the story, River Phoenix was an up-and-coming, promising actor, right up there with Leonardo DiCaprio and all the rest of them. And in the early 90s, around 1993, River ended up going to a bar on the Sunset Strip called the Viper Room, which was owned by, I believe, Johnny Depp, if I'm not mistaken. And I think what happened was he was there that night, and Johnny Depp was on stage playing with, I think, Keanu Reeves and a few other people in the bar as well. Keanu was a close friend of River. They even starred in a movie together as well. Really good movie. I'll let you guys look that up for yourself. And yeah, so what happened was River came out of the club, the Viper Room, and he was there with his brother Joaquin and his sister as well. And River OD'd on he was on heroin, and I guess he hid it from the general public. A lot of people didn't know he was on drugs. And yeah, it's sad to see that he passed away at the young age of he was only like 22, 23 years old. But yeah, he was friends with Michael Stipe as well. So whenever Michael Stipe wrote that song there, if you hear it on the radio, it is about River Phoenix and the passing of him as well. So it's just sad to hear. Like I said, he probably would have been the next big thing for sure, but we'll never know. So that being said, I wanted to also talk about how we doing for time here. Already at the 5-minute mark. Oh, gee gosh whiz. Talk about my car. The other day I was doing a nature vlog, and I didn't really get into it on the video, but I pulled into a four-wheeler trail, which I've pulled into many times before with my Volvo, and never had an issue. I pulled in with the Volkswagen. Obviously, it must be, I guess, either lower to the ground or the length of the front end is longer than it was on my C30. So, long story short, I bottomed out the car, and I'll show you some pictures here. So I got a quote, and they're quoting me like $1,500 worth of damage. Can you believe it? I've had the vehicle for not even 3 days, and I cracked it up. I mean, it's superficial cosmetic. It's just the plastic that's kind of like pulled in, and so I'm like $1,500. This is crazy. So I went up and I saw them in person, because you do like a virtual assessment online where you send them the pictures and they do up a quote based on what they can see. But then when I went in person, they're like, the reason why it's $1,500, it's $11 labor. We have to pull the bumper off. We have to see if there's any damage behind the bumper. And he's like, that scratch that's kind of underneath I don't know if you guys can see it right here. I don't even know if that was me that did that or if that was on there before I bought the vehicle and I just didn't notice it. They're like, we don't just respray one section of the bumper. If we start painting, we have to repaint the whole bumper. So I'm like, holy fuck. I don't want to repaint the whole bumper. Are you kidding me? You can't even see the scratch when you're standing up. It's only when you're like looking underneath the front end. So he's telling me all this, and he's like, I got to add on more labor and all this. I'm rolling my eyes. And he's like, actually, he's like that part on the front of your bumper that's pushed in, let me get the other guy out with a special tool and see if we can pop that out. I don't know if the clips are broken. And sure as shit, within 5 minutes, the guy was able to pull it out and put it back into place. So it's all fixed. I just have that one little scratch. So he fixed it free of charge. And then he's talking away. And I'm like, well, I'm not that busy. I'm like, just send me a new quote and I'll take a look at it and I'll get back to you. I'm not getting back to him. What happens is a lot of these body shops, they do work for insurance companies. And a lot of times they want to do things. I don't blame them. They want to do it the right way. You know, they want to pull the whole bumper off. They want to have a look inside, and then they want to repaint the whole bumper because it's a reflection of the work that they do. Which I get, but this isn't an insurance claim. I definitely would not be going through insurance because it would be considered an at-fault accident, which is my fault, and that's going to cause your rates to go up. So there's no point. I said insurance is a bunch of bullshit. Don't get me started on it. So anyways, I got the hell out of there. And then I called another body shop, a smaller facility, if you will, and he quoted me $250 to just respray the one little area where there's a small scratch and blend it in. I don't know what kind of work that guy would do. I'm not quite sure yet, but long story short, the car is fixed. Thank fucking God. And I'm happy I didn't have to shell out $1,500. I could have probably shopped around quotes at other areas in the city, but then you're getting into the logistics of it, having to drop my car off, trying to find a way to get home. It's a pain in the ass. So anyways, I don't want to go there. Cars are a bunch of bullshit. They're money pits. Don't get me started on it. So the last thing I want to talk about here, right at the 9-minute mark, my buddy Turbo Joe, he posted a video and he was talking about how he had a Logitech steering wheel that he uses for his PS3, and he's got it like makeshift rigged up to a piece of plywood. He's got a base on it, and he's got a top to it as well, so he can put the steering wheel down. It's a pretty cool video. I highly recommend checking it out. But I've been looking at steering wheels for a long time. I actually came across a thrustmaster steering wheel. That's a bad name for a peripheral, eh? Thrustmaster? A thrustmaster steering wheel for the Xbox. I think it was the 360 at the thrift store last year, and I was this close to pulling the trigger on it. I should have picked it up. My biggest beef, or my biggest problem, if you will, with the steering wheels is just it's kind of cumbersome. You know, it's not something I want to have out in the living room. Maybe I could get away with it in the games room here. I don't know. But I was online looking at steering wheels today, and there are some nice ones out there. There's some nice Logitech ones. There's even like a rig you can buy where it comes with the seat, and it's kind of almost like a cage, and you put the steering wheel on it, and then it's got a section where you put the pedal. Like, I'll show you a picture of it here. That looked pretty cool as well. And then I think you can get steering wheels that don't have the pedals, if I'm not mistaken, so that's always an option as well. But I guess what I'm getting at is I love racing games, but I could just imagine they would be a lot more immersive if you were actually using the steering wheel than using your controller. I just think playing a game like, especially like Forza, it would be absolutely incredible. It's just, I guess it's a matter of, you know, which steering wheel do you want to get? Do you want to get something for me as an example, like the original Xbox, the 360, or the Xbox One? If I had to make a decision, if I had to pull the trigger gun to my head, I'd probably go with maybe the original Xbox, just because I really like the Forza on that console. The 360, possibly as well. I think I got the most racing games on that console. But then again, I don't know if all racing games are compatible with the steering wheel, so that's something I have to look into as well. So the steering wheels are relatively inexpensive. They can get expensive. From my research I did today, the thrustmaster seems to be on the lower end of the pricing, and then the Logitech ones are rather high. The thrustmaster that I saw at the thrift store is the same one I saw online today. It's kind of like a Ferrari-inspired steering wheel. It's got the red on it. It's pretty nice. So do a little bit more research on it. If you guys know anything about steering wheels for the consoles that I mentioned, let me know in the comments below. And so I guess that's going to do it. I guess I'll wrap it up there. There's not much else going on. We're right at the 12-minute mark. I want to drink the rest of this wine and then maybe go and watch some YouTube as well. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. You people are wonderful and beautiful. You take care.